As Octavia would listen to Stolas, Stolas would tell her, "Please come with me. Please come back with me. Let me explain myself." As Octavia would say, "You did enough explaining." As she would start to walk away, as Blitz would say, "I'm sorry. I did this to you all. I can go." Stolas would say, if I left, would that even make a difference? Octavia would say, "It's not about him, it's about you leaving. You promised you would never leave, and you went over, risked your life for some life you wanted, for some life that was great, because I wasn't in it." "That's not true, Octavia. Please, listen to me." Octavia would say no. As she was about to walk away, suddenly Luna would walk in front of her. Luna would say, "Please listen." Octavia would say, "Do you think just because you helped me out one time, I want to listen to you? Just because you helped me out one time, your dad's trying." "No, he's not. He literally, if he didn't do it, Blitz would have died. He saved his life. I know it was wrong what he did, but he did it to save someone. And he didn't think this would happen. He didn't plan for this to happen." As Octavia would say, "Fine. I'll spend a couple hours with you." As then Octavia and Stolas would go to Blitz's place. Octavia would then sit on the couch, annoyed, as Octavia would listen to Stolas, but she didn't want to hear it, as it seemed like they were at an impasse. It seemed like Octavia didn't want Stolas in her life anymore, as it seemed like it was over. As then, Luna got up and said, "Listen, Octavia would say, "Don't you dare defend my dad. Do you understand what?" Luna would say, "My dad traumatizes me sometimes." Blitz would say, "Oh, I do." "Shut up, Dad, I'm defending you. But he loves me, and he cares about me, and he did all this for me, and he does a lot for you. Do you understand? If he didn't love you, he would have left the moment you were born. The only reason he stayed was because of you. And now, he can be happy. He only needs you." Octavia would say, "He doesn't need me." Stolas would say, "I do. Please, Octavia, please." Octavia would then sigh and simply just walk off. As Stolas would cry, a few nights would pass, as eventually they would get a knock on the door, as it was Octavia. As Stolas would say, You're back. What made you change your mind?" I can't live without you, Dad. And, well, I want to be a part of your life, even if I have to run around to see you." Stolas and then Octavia both hug. As Octavia would say, "I love you, Dad." Stolas would say, "I love you too," as they smiled at each other. As Octavia and Stolas would spend the whole day together. But then Octavia would run back. As Stella would see her, "Where the F have you been lately?" She would make up some lie on the spot, how she was just out in the town, since she wasn't allowed to see her father. Stella thought she was lying. In fact, she knew she was, but she decided to play along with it and say, "Very well, now get to bed." As Octavia went to bed, Stella was none the wiser, and Octavia would go out to see her father more and more. It was strange. She knew something was up, but maybe she just got lucky? She had no idea. As then we cut to Stella, as she was having tea with Stryker. "What?" Stryker would say, "Is it finally time, ma'am?" Stella would then say yes, as she got up and began to laugh. "Finally, I can get rid of him. Get rid of him once and for all. He's suffered. He's lost everything. And now, no one will care if he's gone." As Stryker would say, "You're the boss." As we cut to Stolas. Stolas will be out in the park with Octavia, as Blitz's crew will be there to protect him, but not Blitz. He didn't want to bring Blitz there because, well, he wanted to show that he cared about his daughter. And that, well, Blitz isn't as important as she is. As Octavia and Stolas were together, they would continue to talk to one another, as they would end up having a lot of fun together. As they were having fun, however, someone would begin to stalk them. It was Stryker, as he hid in the distance. He knew he didn't want to take on the crew. He's done that before, but if he can just get a clean hit, he can fix it. As then, Stryker blasted Stolas. As Stolas fell to the ground, Octavia would begin to cry hysterically. Stolas will be brought away. However, he'll be brought to a hospital and saved just in time. But no one would know this, and they would make sure that Stella didn't know. As we cut back to Stella and Stryker as they were talking. As Octavia would listen to Stella and Stryker talk. As they would talk about how they assassinated Stolas, Octavia would then begin to cry. as she ran out, as she wanted to leave, when suddenly she would feel her foot to start to get frozen as she looked behind her. And Alphys would laugh as he started to freeze Octavia and say, "You're pathetic, such a little weak girl. I can't believe you would see your father after he disgraced your name. This entire marriage was made just to make you, and yet you soil it. You don't deserve to exist. I'll make sure my sister marries someone good. Hopefully she won't mind that a little accident occurs for you." As Octavia would summon a spell, breaking the ice, as Octavia would fly, punching Alphane, as then he got up and created a giant ice creature, as it charged at Octavia, as Octavia would begin to dodge it, as Alphane would start to laugh. "You think you can defeat me, little girl? You haven't even mastered all your powers. You're pathetic." As then Octavia would say, "Enough! I am not pathetic," as she would shoot fire, melting his ice, as this would make him mad, as he would summon ice dogs all around her, but she would destroy it and say, "Is that all you know how to do is summon ice?" "Oh wait, that's right, you're a weaker, pathetic, absolutely disgusting prince, because you're lower than us. You're a low-end Goetia. And all you can do is use drama to get your way and influence because you're not strong enough to fight for yourself. You're only strong enough to pick on the weak." Dolphine would get mad, as suddenly Octavia would appear in front of him and say, "Well, I'm not weak." As she would punch him, as his fist would go through his chest, he would fall to the floor. Octavia got rid of him. As Octavia would then stumble, she didn't know what to do, but then she knew. She knew what she had to do. She didn't want to do this, but she had to. As Octavia would start to get angry, as her fists would light up pure red with heat and anger, as Octavia would slowly go to her mother's room, she knew what she had to do. As she bursted down the room, Stella would say, "What the F are you doing?" As suddenly Octavia would blast Stella. As Octavia would make sure to steal all her magic items to make sure that Stella wasn't at her strongest. As Octavia boosted every single bit of power, she began to blast her with electricity. As Stella would say, "How could you do this to your own bloody mother?" Octavia would then start to yell, "I thought it was Dad's fault. I thought it was his fault this happened, but no, you abused him. You manipulated him. This is your fault. Your fault." As she continued to blast her with electricity, with fire, with everything she had, as Octavia began to cry, "Go, go, 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 go." As then Stella went away, as she perished, as Octavia would fall to the floor and begin to cry. She couldn't believe she did that to her own mother. As then Octavia would visit Stolas in the hospital, as Stolas would say, "Octavia, what took you?" As she would hug him and say, "I did something bad, really bad." Stolas would say, "What is it?" He would then cry and say, "I got rid of Mom. She's gone. She's all gone, and it's my fault. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know she did terrible things, but..." Stolas would then say, "I'm sorry you did that, Octavia, but you're not a monster, and I'll stay with you." As then Stolas would smile, as Octavia would smile, as they hugged and cried, as father and daughter would then stay together. Octavia would move in with Stolas, and would steal a lot of Stella's money, and use it to help Blitz and Stolas, as they would live together as father and daughter, and actually have a healthy relationship. Well, as healthy as you could be with all the terrible things I just said. Okay, so I have a few announcements now. So, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, first of all. And hit that thanks button if you feel like tipping me. I've had some very, very, willful people who tip me, and I really appreciate that. Now, my announcement is I made an OC. That's right, an official OC. Original character with this little app where you make your own has-been character. It's dumb, but, I made one for my gaming channel with a Fallout 1, and I made one with this channel. And if you see the new icon, which since you're watching this video, I know for a fact you are, I hope you really enjoy it, because, I enjoy it. Because, the Frieza one was great. I had my own, little Frieza OC, but, I haven't been doing Dragon Ball content in a long time. So, it's time that I move on. It's time that, I make my own unique character. And maybe, I don't know how the app works. I have to look up if I could sell plushies with it. If I ever get big enough, I could sell plushies with that, which would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that would be sick. So yeah. How are you all doing? Let me know in the comments below. I really enjoyed making this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And it kind of breaks my heart that Octavia hates Stolas now, even though that with her mother literally forcing her not to talk to her dad, she would think, hey, both of these parents are messed up. But Stolas is clearly not the one being yelled at or yelling all the time. So I think I'll go with Stolas, Team Stolas. At least that's what I would do. But, you know, she's her own character, and it makes sense because, you know, it talks a lot about stuff that which I have seen in, well, I'm not going to go into detail. Anyway, I really am glad I have an audience like you. Thank you so much for 7K. Hopefully we'll hit 10K. I want to do something special for 10K, but I have no idea what that should be. I thought about maybe a live stream, a Q&A. I don't know what. I got my mic and like my working finally. But it's not the best. But yeah, with my mic and my headset, I can definitely 100% play some games and live stream that. Or just tell you maybe react to some of my older videos. But here's the thing. I don't remember anything. After each day, I don't even remember what I put into my videos, like what I said. I just don't. I don't know why, because like I'm trying to get all this out, all this creativity out, and when it's out, I build up more, and it just, you know, it just keeps coming. And sometimes you do get burned out. Sometimes you're like, hey man, I just don't feel it right now. And that's happened a few times, which we're all human. It doesn't matter what you do, if it's just playing games or just creativity at all. If you're doing it or trying to do it for a living or even a hobby for other people, you're going to get burned out sometime. But, you know, it's worth it for you guys and for myself, because I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud of what I made. It may not be much, but it's something. And I owe it all to you. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. Peace out.